Because I'm such a smart ass who believes I can see the future, I sold my Samsung Note 9 for an upgrade. And when I did that, I was pretty sure I was going to buy the OnePlus 8 Pro this time, as I have had enough of that crappy Exynos with Get in India in Samsung's flagships. And also because Samsungs are frigging crazily expensive. But because of my smart ass and these frigging irritating flash sales, even after trying twice, I could not buy the OnePlus 8 Pro yet. And now that the ongoing display issues is being listed by many users, I might just skip it. But this video isn't about that. So all this while I've been using my backup phone, which is more like my Google Maps phone on the bike, as my primary phone right now. And such a shocker this phone has turned out to be that I've almost lost 80% of my hair. Hey everyone, Mukul here because I was already here. Technology has grown quite fast and we are seeing excellent performance processor on both budget and super budget phones these days, especially on those lower mid-segment price devices. There are two phones in question here which are crucial to mention, as this is how I will prove my point, as I just love proving my point. There is, and I swear I'm gonna speak its full name only this once, the Asus Zenfone Max Pro M1, which was launched back in May of 2018. And remember Moto, it's Moto Z Play, which was launched back in September of 2016. Both of these phones have good processor on them, but of course the one on Asus was newer and should be faster. It runs a Snapdragon 636 on it as compared to the Snapdragon 625 which is on the Moto Z Play. So yeah, theoretically the Snapdragon 636 phone should perform better. The Asus phone was updated recently to Android 10 and I believe that alone should be enough to appreciate Asus for its crazy support even on this super budget phone. Apart from differences in cameras, build quality and other nitty-gritty features, the newer phone should perform better as both the phones almost run stock UIs on them. The Asus phone was launched as somewhere around 12,000 Indian rupees or 160 US dollars, but then it faced several price drops. And the Moto Z Play back in its time was around 25,000 Indian rupees or 350 US dollars. Now I don't know what kind of components were exactly used in these phones, as I'm not a disassembly engineer like Jerry Rick, but here are my observations. So the newer phone, the Asus phone, has failed miserably. Now if I list all the problems here, you would wonder how such a phone can even exist in the market. The phone has tested my patience even when it was partially used, so I'm not sure what the is happening here. For starters, not only does it keep dropping Wi-Fi on its random spots in the house, which never ever happened on my Note 9 or even happened on the Moto Z Play on the same Wi-Fi bandwidth, but I have also seen terrible network reception on the phone during my phone calls. On Wi-Fi calling, people on the other end just can't hear me even if I'm standing close to my Wi-Fi router, which is frigging crazy. I mean, I'm just not sure why this is happening. Also, with or without the Wi-Fi calling, if I just put the phone in my pocket, the other person can hardly just hear me, which is again a strange thing. I don't know how the modems of this phone were positioned, but clearly they have done a bad job. The WhatsApp call etc. are fine, but even reconnecting on a different bandwidth of Wi-Fi takes some good 15 to 20 seconds. The Bluetooth connectivity also again takes its own sweet time. If I compare the opening apps on the Asus phone as compared to the Moto Z Play, the app sometimes takes a lot of time to load. I mean, is the Snapdragon 636 on the Asus really underperforming this bad even when it's running on the stock UI, or it's just that these updates were never optimized well enough but just passed on to us maybe? I do want to mention that I had done a complete hardware reset after the Android 10 update I got on the Asus phone, so those little bit of tiny bugs here and there which may have been residing on the cache or the kernel or whatever couldn't just be the reason alone. I can also talk about some of the good things, like the battery on the phone is just freaking crazy, and a few more things, but that wasn't the point of this video. The good things of the Asus just die under the wraps when you just can't simply talk to the person at the other end of the phone. So the Moto, which was a mid-segment device and which I have used like crazy, is still holding strong and well with an older Android version on it. So this clearly states how well optimized the Moto Z Play was when it comes to having the kind of quality components it has on it. On the other hand, this sparsely used, better running processor and the latest Android UI running phone has just shocked me how terrible your experience could be with a super budget phone in the long run. I'm not saying all the Asus phones would be bad or all the Moto phones would be good, but these phones in particular has thrown light on few of these things which I expected every manufacturer would take care from day one. And yes, I could have rooted the phone and put a better, faster custom ROM on it, but that was not the point. The official updates should have stable connectivity on the phone, right? So make sure before you buy your next phone, you follow those reviews which do state how the basic features like the network connectivity, calling, etc. are on it. Before you invest in something with a higher refresh rate, it just kills the basic functions of the phone if it has a crappy modem on it. So let me know what you guys think, and also share some of the phones which were in the super budget category and how they have been faring for you in the long run. That's all for today. Stay safe, peeps. Mewbot out.